Summary. Early first-person horror set in the 1990s in Scotland. Where? In fucking Scotland. In fucking Scotland. Yeah. I like okay, I don't want to give it away because I have already watched this. I am really interested in the puzzle solving stuff about this because it feels like and the item management, by the way. I think, Dragon, you are going to appreciate that. In fact, actually, let's go over to the old Elgato quickly. Hang on. Let's go over the Elgato, which captures my gorgeous PlayStation, everybody. Gorgeous. Let's have a look if... I don't think they do, though. Let's have a quick look if they have... Go down the bottom. Demos. Come on. We go to release date. New. No. Bugger it! I was hoping they might have a demo for us to play. I've got that, the High Life demo. Damn. Because that would have been real. I would have been totally like down for showing you all that Silent Hill demo. But that's okay. All right, we've got Assassin's Creed there, ready to go. I'm just going to do this one for now. Conserve the battery, you know what I mean? Just conserve it. Conserve the fucking battery. All right, let's go back to some Townfall.
Time with Townfall showed that the more intimate interaction with the environment can bring you closer to both the story it's trying to tell and the gameplay elements that give rise to such dread. I came in thinking Townfall would be...
Now again, the gameplay. The gameplay of Townfall, I've got a problem with. For some reason, they keep this fucking thing uniform about Silent Hill where it's like, well, we all know the gameplay's a piece of shit. We all know it plays like a buggy mess. Why change it? How about why not? How about don't make that the same? That's not nostalgia, man. I don't feel nostalgic for bad controls and bad feelings of like gameplay mechanics. No, I don't feel fucking nostalgia for that at all. I don't know why they're not changing it. Because clearly, even in this again, it looks like a great environment, but the fighting stuff, it doesn't look so bad that you wouldn't play it. So I'll give it that. But it's like, why are they not making it just awesome? Just make it awesome. Just make it awesome. Change that about Silent Hill. Because Resident Evil is both a good horror and a good fun game to play. Not just one. It's not just one thing. We Silent Hill lovers don't just crave a really great story but really shitty game mechanics. Hello. No. We want good game mechanics. Good game mechanics. Fun ones that work.
Just another direction the series could explore, but I came away eager for whatever comes after the end of my preview demo.
It looks great though. It looks really good.
Silent Hill Townfall is developed by Screenburn, which was previously known as No Code.
Look how good it looks, dude.
The space thriller Observation, and it has
1996, huh?
Alien Isolation.
I like the use of this.
John worked on it and directed its DLC, and it's a pretty clear inspiration for Townfall in terms of it being first person, and the way it builds tension through feeling vulnerable as the player, having to rely on stealth before using combat as a last-ditch effort. This is also a Silent Hill that's representative of the studio itself.
See, that didn't...
Townfall takes place
that didn't look good. I mean, it looked okay, but it's just the guys look like they're kind of slow to react a little. I'm not excited about the one thing that nobody in Silent Hill is excited about, which is the fighting, the gameplay part of interacting with the enemies. I don't know why I don't know why in their like creation of this that wasn't something that was like I'm not a developer, but I mean if I was in the room, I'd be like also in the design of it, whatever they're doing when they're storyboarding, it'd be like, okay, all Silent Hill games, the gameplay mechanics are nonsense and a bit slow, not crunchy and nice and tight. Let's insert Days Gone. Let's insert Days Gone fight mechanics into a Silent Hill game. Because why not? Wouldn't that make it a lot more fun? The mechanics in Days Gone is so much fun. Do that. Listen to the gold I'm spewing out here. Huh? Listen.
This is also a Silent Hill that's representative of the studio itself. Townfall takes place in the 1990s in a fictional setting called St. Amelia and closely reflects seaside towns of Scotland, where the team is from. While these ports tend to be quite foggy to begin
Adele's
with,
here.
its density is intensified as you uncover
about
how a
that?
close-knit community fell apart
about
from what seems to be
that,
a disease
Adele?
and mutation that ravaged its
Adele?
people and turned them into monstrous mutants. Playing as Simon Ordell, you're a fish out of water as an American mysteriously washed ashore in a Scottish town. He's got an IV hooked up to his hand, and he's searching for a nurse named Zoe Ellis who lives in St. Amelia. She reaches out to him through a radio device he relies on called the CRT.
I like the
guiding
use
him
of
through
this.
vague-
I like the use of this radio thing in this game. And the way that it's presented, it looks, I mean, it just, yeah. It does look really good. I love that it's set in the 90s, obviously, for anybody that's 30 or above, I think, is going to appreciate. 35 or above.
desperate
Is going to
voice
appreciate
lines.
that.
And when you get to her house, you see a portrait of Simon in her upstairs hallway. Something weird is going on here. When I asked McKellen about this dynamic of having an American lead character, he said there's a good reason for it. While he couldn't give away more because of spoilers, he said it'll help players connect to him, being an outsider exploring a foreign town to unravel a mystery that Simon is just as much in the dark about.
Simon?
The CRTV is the main crux of Townfall's gameplay. Every Silent Hill uses a radio as a key item, and Townfall follows suit, but there are key differences here that bring you closer to the world itself. Because it has a screen, it's your visual guide for where to go and what to do. You can pull it up at any time, and after tuning it for your next objective, the CRTV screen shows short, disconnected clips of buildings or alleyways you should see on your path to progress. This pushed me to really
I think that's
pay
a cool-
attention to
again,
the
cool use
environment.
of
In a way, having objective markers or a minimap
And it looks really, really schmick. It really does look like it just looks really polished. I mean, again, I think this is on a PS5 Pro, maybe.
could never really do.
Really say.
Simon
Oh,
has
I
a
missed
physical
it.
map of the town you can pull
It
out
looks
as well.
so
which
sharp,
will
dude.
automatically mark up based on story progress and clues you uncover in lieu of having
Looks
a
really good.
traditional quest log. I already felt like I had a deeper connection with the cobblestone streets and narrow alleys of St. Amelia just from the demo. My favorite thing about the CRTV, however, is the way it's used to solve puzzles. I remember the pharmacy section so distinctly because it felt like a riddle and scavenger hunt that you're eager to solve because you think you already know how to get to the solution.
That is awesome. See how they've captured that part of the puzzle solving in the game. I think that is something that classic fans are going to really enjoy. That part sounds
I had
really
to
good.
devise the 4-number combination to open a lock for a key item. Seems like pretty standard stuff, right? After having to color tune the CRTV, it kept showing me a series of seemingly unrelated close-ups of objects within the pharmacy. Each clip and object represented a number for the lock, and upon closer inspection, without explanation or handholding, I was able to determine what these clues were communicating.
Thank you. Hey, are we designing puzzles for the level of a 12-year-old person? Is that what I'm hearing? Am I hearing that my puzzles aren't going to take an Einstein to resolve? Well, give that to me, because I want to feel smart. Thank you. I don't need it to be impossible. I don't need it to be impossible. I just need it to be like a 12-year-old in terms of difficulty.
It's that level of trust Townfall has that you can figure out what it's trying to tell you.
Finally,
There's one in
prescription
an earlier
health.
section that's like an escape room that tees up this idea, where you have to look at photos on the wall, journal entries, and markings on a calendar to unlock the door and get out. This particular style of puzzle design lends itself extremely well to the first
Excuse me.
lock the door and get out.
I had that kettle. If anybody's interested, back in the 90s, I had a kettle like that. Family did, not me. I didn't buy it. It was the 90s. I was a kid. We had that kettle. Good set design. Good choice. 90s.
out.
Go.
This particular style of puzzle design lends itself extremely well to the first-person perspective because it's able to let those subtleties in the environment be part of the solution. Something McKellen also emphasized in our conversation is that puzzles themselves are designed to be part of the story too, where the clues and solutions tell you about the characters or what happened in the town to help you develop an understanding without having to say things out loud. Now, Townfall wouldn't be much of a horror game if the lingering dread wasn't backed by a creeping threat. In this early chapter, I only had 2x4 wooden planks and a super loud revolver with limited ammo to defend myself from the mutated monsters sprinkled
I mean,
throughout
I
the
like
streets.
how the bullets are hitting the enemy and it doesn't look like it's not, Capcom do a great job of this, where it's like when you shoot and the enemies that you hit, it feels like you're getting a heavy thunk, thunk, like weight to them. Whereas, certain other games outside of it, inclusive of Silent Hill, even in the remake, can just feel a little, not as heavy or as hard hitting when they drop to the ground. I don't know. There's just not the same satisfaction when you eliminate an enemy as there is as they have orchestrated in Resident Evil. Resident Evil feels a lot, especially number 2 and number 4. Both of them, number 2, number 4.
So stealth is kind of the main weapon here, and that's where the CRTV comes in again. Enemies show up as radio signals, and you have to manually tune it to mark them on the CRTV, which lets you see them on the screen and through walls when pointing it in their direction. Once they're marked, you can cycle through them quickly without having to manually tune it again, but keeping track of which enemy was which on the frequency bar became a bit of a pain when 4 or 5 of them were within range. However, I found this to be a sensible way to even the playing field with stealth, letting me monitor patrol patterns from safety before making a dash for it. If you think this makes things sound too easy, well, it doesn't. Instead, it eases the sort of trial and error nature of stealth-focused games while still challenging you. You can take calculated risks or plan a course of action without having to bang your head against the wall over and over again. It's all the more important because combat isn't exactly Townfall's strength. Not that I expected it to be, but it's a last resort for a reason. You have a basic attack and block with melee weapons, which aren't quite as responsive as I'd hoped, and enemy attacks are a little tough to read. First-person melee combat is hard to get right, and the revolver Simon finds early on only has so many rounds, and it's loud as hell, alerting everything in range. But as long as Townfall keeps the balance I saw in the demo, I don't think
it's good that it's like being accurate to, he's mentioned that about 2 or 3 times now, that it's loud as hell, which means it's going to attract attention, and whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. I mean, I want the combat not to be. I mean, it gives it away there where it says combat is your absolute last resort. This is a stealth game that you're not expected to go around killing the enemies. But I mean, that being said, if that's the case, fine. But if you do have to, then at least make it fun. I think that's my worry and this is criticism. Will it be a first day release that I get? Yeah. Wife and I, we played Silent Hill F, which got shit canned a lot. I mean, we weren't huge on the gameplay mechanics. It doesn't have a huge replayability to it, although I think lovely wife said that she would replay it. I mean, I'd replay it with her. But I wouldn't probably go out of my way to do it myself to replay it. Yeah. But the feeling in that game and the sense of like dread and horror is they nailed that part of it, and it looks like that's kind of what they've got going on here. It's a shame because it just looks like that had they nailed the mechanic part. I mean, look, I don't want to speak to. I've been speaking too soon. Like I know how this is gonna be. I mean, no one's speaking bad about the mechanics at all. Because there was another review here by GameSpot where they had like 3 hours of the game that they played, and they said that they just wanted to keep playing it, and it does look incredible. So I mean,
town you can run and hide in as well. So
who am I to say?
Chased doesn't always have to result in combat. This isn't meant to be Resident Evil after all, and thanks to Simon just being a regular guy who has no idea what's going on, it makes sense in the grand scheme. The aforementioned pharmacy section is connected to a series of puzzles scattered around town that'll have you pulling up your map pretty frequently to make sure you're making the correct turns at every street. As inconvenient as it is, I enjoy the fact that something like finding a house whose address you got from a note is part of what you do here. It may get confusing on where to go exactly, and if it leads to mistakenly backtracking, the pacing can drag, making it all the more important to pay attention to what Simon marks on the map. Later in the demo, when the sky inexplicably turns a deep red and the mutated beings come out in droves, navigating the town's backyards and apartment complex to make it to the hospital is more of a zombie-riddled maze. Bobbing and weaving between monsters, creating distractions, or trying to land
See, that's fun. That's a good
emphasis.
use of
It's
that.
not
That'll be
necessarily
fun.
my favorite part of Townfall, but it balances out the more unnerving quietness that precedes
Okay,
it.
well,
It's intense.
I mean, that sounded fun to me. The breaks it up a little bit from just stealthing, but all
and
right,
it can be
he
exhausting,
doesn't like
but
it.
the good kind. Any horror game worth its salt is going to drain you, and I came away from Townfall with that feeling. But it's that broader message tucked underneath the horrors
I don't know what that means. Worth its salt. It's a weird phrase. Worth its salt.
that I'm looking forward to most. The story opening with abandoned protest signs calling out an organization called the CEG makes it pretty clear that this small town was overrun by corporate interests, and it led to something catastrophic that mutated its people. I explored more about the character Zoe Ellis in this demo though, her mental breakdown, how she feels about letting down her colleagues at the hospital and clinic.
I love the
and her
PCs,
regrets of
dude.
not
It's
being able to
such a
save her
throwback.
people. All that is apparent in the emails, notes, and letters left behind that tell you about her relationships to the townsfolk, and it's shown in the main puzzle solution in the section I played, which centered around her perceived failures. These kinds of motifs have been what made Silent Hill strong in the past, and I'm quite fond of the direction the series has been going recently, leaning into the idea of being an anthology series where it's
I don't know what
to
that
tell their kinds
means.
of stories wrapped in a consistent theme and style
It's
of horror.
safe.
The Silent Hill 2 remake definitely modernized a classic about a man's mental illness and how that has destroyed everything around him. And most recently, Silent Hill F explored the struggles of womanhood in Japan in the 1960s.
Yeah.
So there's certainly more to unravel with Townfall, including how Simon relates to everything in the story, and I can't wait to see how it all comes together and fits into the rest of the series. The terrifying contrast between the bloodstained and rusted corridors of a hospital and the deeply unsettling fog of the original Silent Hill on PS1, those are images that still stick with me to this day. It's probably the most horrifying experience I've ever had in a game, and well, I was a kid at the time, but it
was
paves the way
scary,
for what
yeah.
I actually find scary. It's that confluence of psychological and analog horror that evokes things like Number Stations or the video series Local 58, and I'm picking up bits of that from Townfall. Few games deliver that foreboding, lingering
Just
dread
looks so
quite
good,
like a
though.
good Silent Hill, and it seems Screenburn has understood.
I don't want to go on and on about like presentation graphics because it's not just the thing, but man, when they show something that is just feeling like we're getting further and further ahead in terms of what graphics can produce, it's incredible. It really is quite incredible. They're getting just close to making it basically real.
We'll be able to find out the truth about Saint Amelia if we can survive it when Silent.
But there we go. There we go. Townfall. Now, I gave a review of the trailer. And was I a fan? No! Wasn't a fan. Was not a fan at all. I just thought the trailer didn't say much about it and didn't get me excited about it and annoyed me. That's what it did.